The following is a factual account of deadly labor union violence based on news reports, public records, and other available sources. Just before dawn on July 22, 1993, Eddie York kissed his wife and two sons and whispered to his barely awake daughter, "I'll see you this evening. I love you." Then Eddie York began the last 12 hours of his life, fatefully traveling down a path towards Jerry Dale Lowe, York's executioner, who was hiding in the bushes waiting to ambush the family man. With one shot to the head, Lowe assassinated Eddie York and destroyed a family's dreams for the future. United Mine Workers of America, UMWA union thugs continued to pelt guards with rocks as they rushed over to check on York's lifeless body. Lowe prevented Eddie York from keeping his word to his daughter about seeing her that evening. Lowe's heinous act caused a young girl to live with a lifetime of regrets for not holding on to her father before he left her room for the last time. York's daughter Tabby rushed to the hospital to see her dad, and upon confirming the worst, she whispered the words she wished she had spoken early that morning. "Daddy, I love you." The assassin and family man could not be men of more disparate characters. Eddie York was reportedly an easygoing, fun-loving, devoted family man and churchgoer. The 5'6", 300-pound Union tough Jerry Dale Lowe was a son of a United Mine Workers of America union president. Dale had guzzled at least 5 Budweiser light beers before he aimed his acquired stolen gun at Eddie York's head. During the furor following York's murder, rewards were offered. People across the state wanted to get to the truth about the killing. But United Mine Workers of America union bosses, like Lowe's family friend and UMWA Executive Committee member Howard Green, publicly claimed that coal company security guards were the ones who killed Eddie York. Union spokesman Jim Grossfeld referred to the increase in the reward amount for information about the murder as disrespectful to the York family. Eventually, Local 5958 President Ernest Woods and 7 other union members were convicted on 2 counts of conspiracy to damage a vehicle involved in interstate commerce. 7 others agreed to misdemeanor charges, $500 fines, 120 days in jail, and testified at Lowe's trial. But don't worry about these guys. Union bosses fought to force the mine employers to hire these violent picketers back after the strike ended. Lowe, who was not specifically charged with murder, was sentenced to only 130 months imprisonment and ordered to pay restitution in the amount of $6,318.50 as reimbursement to Eddie York's family for funeral expenses. Lowe served the last part of his sentence in a halfway house. For several years, unapologetic UMWA union bosses dragged out a court case brought by the grieving York family. A union attorney even threatened that the United Mine Workers of America might initiate legal actions against the widow's brother. After fighting the York family suit intensely for 4 years, United Mine Workers of America lawyers suddenly settled in 1997. Interestingly, the settlement came just 2 days after the judge in the case ruled evidence in the criminal trial would be admitted. Why were these union thugs on roadsides terrorizing hardworking Americans? Jerry Dale Lowe and the rest of the UMWA militants were using terror in an effort to create a monopoly over mine workers for UMWA union bosses. United Mine Workers of America union bosses had called this strike to gain monopolistic control of the regional mining industry. The idea was that they were going to force mine operators to bleed money and force any scabs to bleed if they tried to work, ignoring big labor's demands. The United Mine Workers of America Union's national magazine for its members had pictures of hats with the slogan, "Only God, Guns and Guts," built the UMWA, emblazoned on them. Then UMWA Union President Richard Trumka was unapologetic about the murder and mayhem that his ordered strike had caused. And where was the national outrage and press coverage? Perhaps, fortunately for the United Mine Workers of America Union, Hillary Clinton's close friend and White House advisor Vince Foster's death helped divert national attention away from the Slab Fork Hollow Road murder. It's time to stop ignoring union violence. Americans shouldn't be killed for just going to work to feed their families. But that's what happened to Eddie York. It's past time to start making union bosses pay for the violence and carnage they cause. It's time to close their Hobbs Act loophole